Dear students, you are welcome in this class. So next topic is impact of organic farming and what are different components of organic farming. Here impact means when farmers start organic farming or when they practice organic farming, what kind of impacts are there? When a farmer does organic farming, will it improve the soil health? Will it protect the environment? Will it improve the yield of the crop? Will it improve the quality of the product? Will it improve the biodiversity? So these are the questions which are to be answered. Means how organic farming will impact different aspects of crop production, of soil, of environment, and also economics. How organic farming will affect the economics or profit. That is called as impact. And then we will see what are different components or important pillars of organic farming. What are the supporting legs of organic farming. So if you recall that history is complete, the role of government, Indian government in promotion of organic farming is complete. Definition of organic farming, principles you have seen, differences, current status, and you have also seen need of organic farming, like you remember declining factor productivity, unsafe food, environmental pollution, climate change, and so many things were there. So just few words which are difficult, you can have a look. Agroecology is a whole system approach to agriculture, whole system. It includes everything, all components of agro-ecosystem. Agro-ecosystems are artificial ecosystem which are handled by human beings or where farmers are the operator. So, but agroecology is whole systems approach to agriculture that applies ecology or ecological principles to the design and management of sustainable production system. Here, sustainable production system means your agroecosystems. That is your agroecology. This is more important than your organic farming or other aspects. Agroecology. Then buffer zone. This is just a zone which separates organic farming fields or organic farming area from conventional area. So an area located between a certified production operation or portion of a production operation and an adjacent land area that is not maintained under organic management. Means the area, the zone between conventional and organic farming. Normally it is 3 to 4 meters. 3 to 4 meters gap may be maintained between conventional and organic area. This is just to stop or prevent the contamination of inorganic components into organic. Crop rotation, you understand, climate change, any systematic shift in the long-term statistics. See, it is long-term statistics of climate element, temperature, rainfall, or winds, sustained over several decades or longer. So if there are sudden changes during 1 year or 2 years in temperature or rainfall, that may not be considered as climate change. It is based upon long-term changes, like temperature rise. We are experiencing for a very long time. So this temperature rise may cause climate change. Stubble is related to plant part of the mature crop. When you harvest the crop, whatever is left in the soil and that is anchored, that is attached to the roots, that is your stubble. Like when you harvest sugar cane, you cut the cane from the ground area and remaining some 4, 5 or 10 centimeter height canes are still attached to the root. Then it is a stubble. Organic farming, polyculture. Polyculture is your multiple cropping. So a field or cropping system with multiple interacting crops or pertaining to such a field or cropping system where you grow 2 or more crops together or in sequence. That is your polyculture. A smoother crop. These crops are just like cover crop. They grow, they have very high canopy and they can cover the ground. An interseeded crop sown with the intent of smoothing weeds, sometimes also applied to a weed suppressive cover crop. Agrochemical, soil biodiversity, the variety and variability. Remember these two words. Whenever you want to define biodiversity, remember variety and variability. The variety and variability of living organisms present in the soil is considered as soil biodiversity. If you are asked just biodiversity, so it is the variety and variability of living organism present in an ecosystem. It is called as soil, or it is called as biodiversity. And then you can call it plant biodiversity, microbial biodiversity, animal biodiversity. It is known by different names or specific name also. It is used in general sense also, and in a specific sense. You can relate it to soil, microbe, animals, plant, crops, or anything you like. But it pertains to living things. Heavy metals are natural elements with high atomic mass and their high density, at least 5 gram per cubic centimeter. 5 gram per cubic centimeter, that is volume, or higher. It includes your cadmium, cobalt, chromium, copper, iron, mercury, manganese, molybdenum, lead, and zinc. Rhizosphere is the zone around the root, soil zone around the root, which is 1 to 3 millimeter, which is just 1 to 3 millimeter away from the roots. Nutrient concentration versus content. Many times students write content word very frequently. Nitrogen content in plant was this, the zinc content in grain was this. That is wrong. We should use concentration word for the nutrient status in plant or plant parts or soil. So concentration is usually expressed in gram per kilogram. Gram per kilogram, microgram per gram, or milligram per kg or so on, or dry or fresh weight basis. Our content is usually expressed as weight per unit area. This relates to, content relates to weight per unit area. However, most of the time people use them interchangeably, which is not correct. Then rhizobacteria. Rhizobacteria are plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. There is one group, PGPR, they are part of this. So bacteria is specially adapted to colonizing the surface of plant roots and the soil immediately around plant roots. So therefore the name rhizo means rhizosphere. Some have effect that promote the plant and some have deleterious effect on the plant growth. So we can have harmful also, harmful rhizobacteria. Soil organic matter, you know, humidification, you know, microbial biomass, you understand. Crop waste, organic materials left in the agricultural field or orchard after crop harvest. So crop waste may be stalk, stubbles, leaves, and seed pods. Animal waste, organic waste, litter. Litter is your loose organic debris, which may include leaves, twigs on the surface of the earth, means the things which naturally fall on the surface of the earth are litter. Now we come to the main topic, that is impact of organic farming. So impact broadly, we will understand impact of organic farming in major 4 fields. For example, food quality and safety, production and productivity, what will happen to productivity, income or profit, soil and ecosystems, climate and air, and ground or surface water. So under these headings, we will discuss the impact of organic farming. So first of all, let us see the nutritional quality of organic foods. I have already told you, I have already discussed with this nutritional quality. So overall, organic foods are nutritious than conventional food. You will get some diverse idea about it, but most of the time it has been proved that organic products have better nutritional quality than conventional product. So this paper was published in American Journal of Clinical Nutrition way back in 2009. And you can see the results, very interesting results. First of all, I want to tell you this meta-analysis. Meta-analysis, what is meta-analysis? What happened in the olden days? People used to draw some conclusion from previously done research. Suppose one research was done that uh, GM food causes cancer. GM food causes cancer. So maybe there may be 1,000 papers that will claim that GM products cause cancer, and there may be 1,000 papers which will say that GM product will not cause cancer. So some scientist will come into picture and he will collect all the literature methodologically or scientifically. There are some procedures defined that you need to collect the literature unbiased. So you can collect, say, 500 papers can be collected. Their detailed information can be extracted. And then you can see what are the conclusion of different paper. So you can divide these paper into 2 or 3 or more groups, that this paper is saying yes. So many papers are saying yes. So many papers are saying no. So many papers do not have any clarity. And then you, after division of these paper, you will put some statistical test and then see and then decide that do we get the significant result? Do we find the significant differences in the research paper groups? And then the conclusion is drawn. So many times this meta-analysis, or it is also known by another name, systematic review. Systematic review or meta-analysis. But in olden days, what people will do, they will just count the number of paper. Okay, out of 500, 300 papers are saying yes, and 200 papers are saying no. Therefore, I will say that GM food causes cancer. So it was the case before, but now some methodology, scientific methodology is available to do it, which is known as meta-analysis, or it is also called as systematic review. Many papers you will find like this. So this was a meta-analysis. Based upon this, if you want, you can go in detail of this paper. So now you see what they decided based upon the previous work done. They have reviewed it. So you can see in this table, column number first is nutrient category. So they have seen nitrogen, vitamin C, phenolic compound, magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, and many nutrients they have seen. Number of studies, what number of studies they have included? 17, 14, 13, like this number of studies. Number of comparison, how many comparisons were made. And then these are some statistical things which you need not to bother. Now see the last column. Last column, high concentration in organic or conventional crop. These are the nutrients in the first column. And in last column, what are the differences in organic product and conventional product? So you can see nitrogen, the first row, you can see nitrogen. So it is in conventional. So you can get more nitrogen in conventional product than organic product. And it is understood also because urea is applied in unbalanced ratio, more of urea than P and K or micronutrient. Therefore, you can have more nitrogen percentage in conventional product. In organic product, you will have balanced concentration of nutrients. Vitamin C, phenolic compound, magnesium, calcium, they were no difference. Means organic and conventional product have same level of vitamin C, phenolic compound, magnesium, and calcium. Then comes phosphorus. Phosphorus was more in organic than in conventional product. Then potassium, zinc, total soluble, solid, and copper. They were no difference. There was no difference in them. So therefore, they were equal in both conventional and organic product. And lastly, titrable acidity. It was more in organic. So many times acidic fruits and acidic vegetables are liked by the people. Like tomato, khatta tomato chahiye. I need sour tomato. So in tomato, titratable acidity is important. It is a quality parameter. So overall, you can see this review suggests that nitrogen is more in conventional product, phosphorus is more in organic product, titratable acidity is more in organic product, significantly more. However, in other constituent, there was no difference in both kind of products. And they have tested these products across the fruits, across the vegetable, and across the grain crops. They have included all kind of crops in their studies. And finally, this review concluded that there is no significant difference in quality of organic and conventional product. It was their conclusion. So based upon this paper, many newspapers in India and abroad, they started saying that why to pay more for organic product if the differences are non-significant, or if their quality is same. But it was not the case. In the end, it was found that this study was funded by pesticide companies. So some industrial interest can influence the science. They can influence the decision of the scientific community. So this was the case. But at the same time, in the same year, one independent review also came from France, Nutritional Quality and Safety of Organic Food. This review came, and this review demolished the content or the conclusions of the previous review. So you can see what this review said. Organic plant products have more dry matter and more minerals. And this review was also based upon some studies. Like they contain more iron, more magnesium, and more antioxidants. Antioxidants include variety of phenols and salicylic acid. Organic animal products contain more of polyunsaturated fatty acid than the conventional milk product or conventional animal product. 94 to 100% of organic food does not contain any pesticide residue, means they are safe. Organic vegetables contain less nitrate, about 50% less nitrate. So this review was quite interesting, and it claimed that organic products have better nutritional quality than conventional products. One more study published in British Journal of Nutrition, higher antioxidant and lower cadmium concentration. The title itself says, and lower incidence of pesticide residue in organically grown crops, a systematic literature review and meta-analysis. So you can see this review clearly suggests that organic products will have more antioxidant, lower heavy metals, and lower pesticide residues. And you can see the green box here. Higher antioxidants were higher in organic food, like phenolic acids, 19% higher in organic than conventional. Flavonoids, 69% higher. Still beans, 28% higher. So overall, they claim that 50% higher on antioxidants are there in the organic product than conventional product. So any question on quality? This quality is complete. So what is impact of organic farming on quality of the product? One can easily say that organic products are better in quality than conventional product. This is conclusion. Now your questions are welcome. You can ask your questions. So if there are no questions, then we go to the yield. Comparing the yield of organic and conventional agriculture. Sometimes one of the students also asked about it, about the productivity and so on. So I can tell here that productivity of organic products or organic farming is lower compared to conventional agriculture. This is true. And because you are converting your conventional farming to organic farming, it takes 3 years period. 3 years period is your conversion period. And during this conversion period, you are applying organic products. You are applying organic manures, organic pesticides, or whatever organic standards suggest. You use those practices. So initially there is fall, there is decline in the yield. For 3 years, it will decline. And it will continue to decline for 1 or 2 years more. And then it will start recovering. And within 7, 8 years, it will come back to the productivity of the conventional farming. So there is some up and down. Initially, it is getting lower, and then it starts increasing. Or by 7th or 8th year, it recovers and it is almost equal to conventional farming. And it is likely that after 8 years, it may increase over the conventional farming by 5 to 10%. So such kind of results have been obtained by network project on organic farming. One more interesting fact is that the productivity decline depends upon kind of soil, kind of environment, and kind of crop. They affect the productivity decline. For example, if you are converting to organic farming in dryland areas or in rain-fed areas, there the productivity decline will be lower. It may be 10 to 15%. But if you go to Punjab or if you go to any intensive cultivated area, there the productivity decline will be more. Here it can be 35 to 40% decline in productivity if you convert from conventional to organic farming. Now my question to you is that why there is less decline in productivity under rain-fed condition. For example, Northeast India or Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan. Here, if you follow organic farming, the productivity decline in organic farming will be 10 to 15%, will be lower compared to Punjab, where productivity decline will be 35 to 40%. So what could be the reason? Did you get the question? Yeah, Soumya Prakash. Kavya,
Yes, sir.
are you there?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any idea why this difference? In rain-fed area, we get less decrease in productivity if we switch over from conventional to organic farming. In intensive cultivated area, in irrigated area, the decline in productivity is more.
Because the productivity in the intensive cultivated areas is the much more compared to the rain-fed areas, sir.
Okay.
So the decline in the yield will be less in rain-fed areas because the average yield will be less, and in the intensively cultivated area, the average yield will be more compared to the rain-fed areas. So it will be low in the case of rain-fed areas, sir.
Okay. Any other? Bag? Mr. Bag? Anybody can come. Tanmay, I'm not biased for you. For me, all are equal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, any guess?
Yes, sir. There may be a reason that in case of rain-fed agriculture, in case of rain-fed area, the productivity is less declining because in that area the capacity of the organic matter content or the soil properties are more less fluctuating as compared to intensive agriculture, as because it is in conventional agriculture, the use of pesticide or the use of herbicides and the other chemicals are very drastic. That's why the soil health properties are very drastically changing year after year. Means within a single year, the difference will be greater as compared to the rain-fed agriculture.
Excellent. Why were you silent then? If you know the answer.
Yes, sir, I am guessing, sir.
Okay.
I'm not sure, sir.
Very nice. So he very rightly answered that under rain-fed conditions, the soil conditions are different. Your soils may have more organic matter. They may have more microbial biodiversity. So, and also why it is there? Because the pesticide use, the fertilizer use is already low in rain-fed area compared to this intensive cultivated area. So that is the reason that their pesticide use, fertilizer use is already minimum. and they are already near to organic. So therefore, if you convert there, if you start organic farming there, there will be almost same yield or less decline, 10 to 15% decline. That is the answer. Another part is that in intensive cultivated area, irrigated area, Punjab or Andhra Pradesh, where you get very intensive agriculture, in those cases, the decline is more because soils have become addicted to fertilizer. They have become addicted to pesticide. And every time they want more and more pesticide. So therefore, the decline is more there. And also the soil ecology or soil biology is totally disturbed in those areas. And also the fertility decline was very fast in those areas. So the if you give them better things, they will not like it. A person who is smoking and he starts smoking, slowly he will get to smoke more and more with the time. And if you ask him to withdraw, he will not withdraw. If you withdraw it by force, if you de-addict him, he will fall sick. Suddenly, he will fall sick and he may suffer many problems also. Emotional problem, health problem, and again, doctor may recommend, okay, you better you smoke again. So that is the case. I tell you one story that my children, they get milk from the Delhi mother milk or whatever milk, polythene milk, you know. Milk is packed in polythene and there is no guarantee of the quality. We don't know what kind of milk we are drinking, but we get it. We like to drink this milk. My children would love this milk. And someday they went to the village and they got the original milk and it was not liked by them. And it created some problem in their stomach. So original thing was not good for them. So likewise, it takes time to adjust to the new environment. And you can see one example I can give you. A person from Delhi, he went to Shimla. He was living in Delhi for 20, 30 years. And then he went to Shimla for 4 or 5 days and he has fallen sick. He has fallen sick. Then many doctors came and they treated him. But he was still having sickness. So one Anadi doctor, you understand, one very Thela chap or very local doctor, he came. He asked, where from you are? He said, from Delhi. Okay. Bring 4 or 5 motorcycles and start them and put some smoke, make some smoke around him and he will be okay. So his illness was over once he was given this smoke. So those soils of Punjab, they have been adapted to those chemicals. Punjab, I mean, I'm not defaming Punjab. I mean intensive cultivated area, irrigated area, anywhere. So their chemical use, pesticide use is high, which has disturbed the soil biology. Therefore, yield decline is more. So overall, I gave you some conclusions about productivity. So you can see the yields, the same story is there. So in developed countries, average yield losses under organic management range from 0 to 20%. There are different kind of data. Pretty and Hines surveyed 208 projects in developing tropical countries in which contemporary organic practices were introduced and found average yield increase. So in some cases, yield increase was there by 5 to 10% in irrigated crops and by 50 to 100% in rain-fed crops. So in rain-fed area, the productivity increase was more. So you can see these trial from Rodale Institute. I told you about J.I. Rodale Press. So this Rodale Institute is in US and they have done some research work on organic farming. And you can see the green bars and gray bars. In green bars, first you see the yield, pounds per acre per year. So yields, you see, yields are same. Green is for organic, gray bars are for conventional. So you can see yields are same. Next is your profit. You can see in green, you get more profit. In gray, you get less profit. Then see energy input. Energy input is less, green one in organic, and you need more energy in conventional. And hence the pollution. the greenhouse gases emission is less, the green one, and gray one, it is more. So you can see that organic farming gives you equal yield and more profit, less energy input, and less environmental pollution. This is the conclusion from this slide. Now, this is our experiment in IRA. We started in 2001, and you can see first 3 years from 2001 to 2003, it was rice wheat. And then came the transitional period or conversion period from 2003 to 2006. And from 2006-7, it was totally organic, and it continued for 10 years. And it's still continuing, but with different rotations. So you can see 10 years result at our farm. So we compare two cropping system, rice wheat and rice wheat mung bean. And now the time is almost 1 minute time is left. So we will get to new link. Hope everybody has joined. You can see that two cropping systems were compared, rice wheat and rice wheat mung bean. And we also have some nutrient management practices, control FIM 60 kg nitrogen per hectare, and vermicompost 60 kg N per hectare FIM crop resin. There were a variety of treatments, 7 treatments, and it was on rice wheat cropping system and rice wheat mung bean. So you can see the result, just summary kind of thing is prepared. So you can see the first column is year, and then you get rice wheat yield in tons per hectare, and then divided by red line, rice wheat mung bean yield in ton per hectare. So first R is for rice, W is for wheat, and total, and then average. So first you see rice wheat system. So rice yield in the very first year was 4.26. 4.51, 4.3, 3.94. So in our case, there was no decline. After conversion period, we got yield statistically same. You can see the average was 4.1 tons per hectare. And remember, this is basmati rice. So this was good yield. So under organic system, we get good yield of basmati rice. Now you see, and average was 4.1 tons per hectare. If you see the wheat yield, 3.57, 4.47, 3.71, almost ranging between 3.5 to 4 tons per hectare, and average being 3.7 tons per hectare. But you can see the wheat yields were lower. They were about 10 to 15% lower than the conventional wheat. We also grown conventional wheat, and in conventional wheat, we get 4.5 or 5 tons per hectare of the wheat yield. But it was less. It was much less than the conventional wheat. So you can see the yields of wheat in organic system were lower than the conventional even after 10 years. But in case of rice, we got the same yield in organic as well as in conventional wheat, conventional rice. These are two conclusions. And see another cropping system, rice wheat mung bean cropping system, yields in ton per hectare. See the case of rice. It is 4.55, 4.9, 5.1, 5.1. So ranging from 4.5 to 5 tons per hectare. So you can see the average yield is 4.68 tons per hectare, average of 10 years. So we got very good yield of rice, basmati rice in rice wheat mung bean system also. But these yields were more than that we get from rice wheat system. In rice wheat system, the average was 4.1 tons per hectare. In rice wheat mung bean system, the average of rice yield was 4.68 tons per hectare, which is about 0.5 tons more. So 0.5 ton or 0.5 or 0.6, whatever you like, 0.5 to 0.6 tons per hectare yield was higher when you have rice wheat mung bean system. That means the inclusion of mung bean in rice wheat rotation increases rice yield also, that is 0.5 to 0.6 tons per hectare. Such kind of results are also available in conventional farming if you grow rice wheat mung bean rotation, if you follow rice wheat mung bean rotation. Now see the wheat yield. Wheat yield 3.82, 4.83, 3.82. They were somewhere around 4 tons per hectare. 4 tons. So average is 4 tons per hectare. It is still low. And it is, if you compare with the rice wheat system, it was 3.7 tons per hectare, 3.7 tons per hectare, which has become 4 tons per hectare. Means inclusion of mung bean has resulted in increase of 0.3 tons per hectare of wheat yield. So therefore, you can see 0.5% increase in rice yield and 0.3% increase in wheat yield. So it is about 0.8 tons per hectare. So inclusion of mung bean is very, very interesting, and it has increased the yield of rice as well as wheat by 0.8 tons per hectare. This is one. Number two, mung bean itself will give you at least 0.6, 0.7 tons per hectare of the yield. In this case, mung bean has given more yields. That is about, you can take 0.9 tons per hectare. Average, if you take, it is about 0.9 tons per hectare. So inclusion of mung bean is very, very beneficial. It increases the yield of preceding or succeeding crops. Now see this, these results are from Modipuram. The relative yield between organic over inorganic, network project on organic farm. So you can see very interesting results here. And this is after 7th or 8th crop cycle. Means you have taken 7 times organic crops, and after 7th year, you have counted, you have measured the yield. How much is the change over conventional farming, over inorganic farming? So you can see that basmati rice, the yield increase was 104. Rice, it was 100%, means same yield. 100 means same yield to or inorganic production. 110% means 10% increase. 114, 107, 100. So in almost all the crops, you can say that the yields were almost similar, or rather more in organic. And then you see in winter crops yields were like wheat, mustard, sunflower. There were decline. 93%, means 10% decline was there, is still there after 7-8 years. So you can see that winter crops like wheat, you do not get good yields. What would be the reason? In summer crops, in rainy season crops, the recovery or the yields in organic and conventional become similar after 6-7 years. However, in winter crops, yield gap is still there. What would be the reason? Yeah, Bijan Mondal. Bijan, are you there? Naveen?
Sir,
Naveen? Bijan, now you are absent. Naveen,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
in your view, what could be the reason?
Sir, in winter, photo period time is less in winter.
Okay. Any other reason?
Uh,
Because those crops.
sir, climatic condition.
Yeah.
Climatic condition.
What kind of climatic conditions? What is there in climate that influence it? Give your answer. You are in right direction. Manish. Manish,
Yes, sir.
what do you think the reason behind it? Any guess? Just put your brain.
sir, can you please repeat the question, sir?
Eh?
Sir, can you please repeat the question?
Nutrient?
Sir, can you please repeat the question, sir?
Yeah, means I told this question 2-3 times. Okay, I repeat it again, no problem. Rainy season or summer season, the yield is almost yield under organic and conventional system becomes same after 7-8 years. However, under under winter crops during winter month, and this is for northern India, winter months the yield is still lower in organic by 10% compared to conventional farming. It is very simple. Somebody was saying about climate. Climate means your temperature and rainfall. So you get higher temperature in summer months and rainy season, and you also get moisture, particularly in rainy season. Kharif season is the main season in India, and there you get lot of water and lot of temperature. So it increases your nutrient availability. It is very simple. Availability and uptake, because temperature is necessary for microbial growth and root activity. So therefore, in winter months, there is slow decomposition of organic matter because this is organic farming, depending largely upon decomposition of organic matter. So which is slow during winter months, and the nutrient availability is lower. Therefore, uptake is also low and yields are still lower. Is that okay? Now see the conclusions of these kind of studies. I'm worried if all the people are listening to me. I'm really worried. If you are not interested, then I can stop it here. And if people are
No, sir, we are listening, sir.
if 5 people are listening,
No, sir. We are listening, sir.
okay, fine.
We are
Thank you.
listening,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Oh, listening, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Now I continue. So overall, you can see this concludes the result. I got it from Dr. Ravi Shankar. He's a scientist in Modipuram, and he's doing a lot of good work on organic farming. He's a member of several committees that are making your syllabus of natural farming courses, this and that. So yield of basmati rice, soybean, garlic, peanuts, cauliflower, and tomato crop was 4 to 6% higher than the conventional farming. And this is after 8 crop cycle. You see, after 8 years of organic farming, you get 4 to 6% higher yield in these crops: basmati rice, soybean, garlic. Moong, onion, chili, cabbage, and turmeric. The yield increase was 7 to 14%. Wheat, mustard, lentil, potato, rajma, 5 to 8%. And this was related to yield. So now you should be clear. If question is asked from you, how the yield is affected, what about the yield behavior in organic farming, you can simply answer that after 8th crop cycle or after 7th or 8th cropping cycle, the yields in organic farming and conventional farming get equal. They get equal. This is one. And number 2 is, in some cases, exceptionally, 5 to 10% more yields are obtained under organic farming than in conventional farming. This is answer number 2. Answer number 3, however, in certain winter crops like rice, mustard, like wheat and mustard, the yield decline is still there. You are getting just 90% of the yield of conventional farming, or you can say 10% lower yields in these crops. So these are the conclusions that you can answer. Somebody asks you about the productivity in organic farming. Do you have any question on this?
Sir, one question is there, sir.
Sure.
Sir, what is the strategies to reduce the time gap? Means we are saying that after 8 years it will be equal to conventional agriculture. So in organic agriculture, what will be the strategies to reduce this time gap so that we can be equal with this conventional agriculture? Suppose one farmer is asked that why we should wait for 8 years.
I loved it. I loved your question very much. And this is a very important question. So actually the yield gap can be narrowed by selection of crop. Number 1, you need to select the right crop. Number 2, we need to get some varieties. Actually, breeders are not giving emphasis to breed the variety for organic farming. They breed variety for conventional farming. They breed variety for salinity tolerance. They breed variety even for conservation agriculture. they have started breeding varieties, but they are not breeding variety exclusively for organic farming, because here plant main problem in organic farming is plant nutrition, nutrients, because you are supplying organic matter and which is decomposed very slowly. It takes time. So nutrient supply is the major issue. So how these breeder can solve this issue, they should come into picture. Another important aspect, if we want to narrow down this yield gap, we must adopt the crop rotations. Diversification is the key by which we can narrow down gap by 10%. And this is very timely question. I will show you. I will show you how to reduce the yield gap in organic farming. And rest is the managerial skills of the farmer also. If you are a good manager, and then you can manage it well. So definitely efforts are being made to reduce this yield gap. Very good. Any other cross question?
No, sir.
Okay. And what I want to tell here is that these results are based upon All India coordinated trial. The data which is before you has come from at least 20 centers in India. And after 8, 10, 15 years of organic farming, the data before you came. So these kind of data cannot be wrong, because this is representing all the ecological zones of India. And these data are average of several experiments in different locations. You can see here, n power a, these n power a is the number of yield entries. They have done it variety of places and variety of experiment and variety of varieties. So you can see 67, 50 number of studies. So this data cannot be wrong. And then what they add also, the amount of biocarbon increased by 22% in 6 years, organic carbon from organic farming. See, there is change in organic carbon also. Number of microbes increased at all the centers of the project. At all the 20 centers, the microbiology improved, soil microbiology also improved. Now coming to economics. So you have seen the productivity issues, quality issues. Now you see the profitability. Average gross margins from organic cotton, this is just one example, were 30 to 4%, 30 to 40% higher, means more profit, because 10 to 20% lower cost of production and 20% is the price premium. So therefore you can get 30 to 40% margin. So overall, organic farming achieved 10 to 20% higher income from agricultural activity. So there are good number of reports which say that organic farming can give you better income than the conventional farming, or organic farming is profitable. If you get good yields, if you are a good manager and you are able to market it properly, then economics are in favor of organic farming. Now, what impact will happen on the soil? So number one is reduced soil erosion. Why there is a reduced soil erosion if you start doing organic farming? My question to you, why there is reduced soil erosion if you follow organic farming? And same next also, why soil organic matter or soil health is improving under organic farming? And also microbial biomass, carbon, microbial diversity, why we are having positive effect? These positive impacts of organic farming. Why it is happening?
So it is mainly because organic matter is the key, and organic matter is treated here as the key of the whole agriculture. So if we look after organic matter, all the properties, as you said, that will be enhanced by acid retention, crop diversification, mulching, and crop cover throughout the whole year. That's it.
Yeah, very good. You are right. So it is mainly the addition of organic matter which is influencing all this, because you know as a student that organic matter influences or improves all kind of soil properties, chemical, biological, and physical properties. You can think from that perspective also. So since the soil structure is improved, and then soil aggregation happens and less soil erosion. And if less soil erosion, if your biological, chemical, physical properties are improved, that means your soil health has also improved. So that is good. And it will also result in accumulation of more water in soil. Means the water holding capacity of the soil will also increase. You can see in this data, so volume of water retained per hectare in 30 centimeter soil depth in relation to organic matter. And this is very general data. It is very general data just to suggest you the role of organic matter in water retention in soil. This data may not be correct, just some idea. You are getting some idea. So if you have, for example, 0.5% organic matter, soil will have 80,000 liters of water. If you have 1% organic matter, it is doubled. If your organic matter is doubled, the water retention capacity is also doubled, 160,000 liters. If you have 2% organic matter, then 320,000. So likewise, so it is suggesting you, if your organic matter content in soil is increasing, then your water retention in soil will increase, mainly because of improved soil structure. Improved soil structure, you get better water holding capacity of the soil. Now, see the benefit of this retention of water. That means organic farming can be successful if you have drought conditions, because such soils which are having high organic matter can retain more water. So organic farming can be successful, more successful in areas receiving less rainfall also. Suppose in areas receiving less rainfall, you are doing two kinds of farming. One is organic, other is conventional. So here the benefits will be more in organic farming in the same or identical area of low rainfall. So it has been done, many papers have come that in drought years, if you get drought, suddenly drought year, the yields in organic farming are much higher than the conventional farming. So this is the benefit of organic farming. Another important benefit is that the number of irrigation can be reduced. If you are following organic farming and growing wheat, so in wheat normally 5 to 6 irrigations are required. But if you start doing organic farming for many years, then your number of irrigation can be reduced by 4. Means you can grow wheat in 4 irrigation. These are just indicative things I'm telling you. So organic farming can save water, can conserve water, and also the frequency of irrigation can be reduced. So these are some indirect benefit of doing organic farming. Now, enhanced activity of earthworms. Naturally, organic matter is their food, so their activity is improved. And another important fact is that beneficial nematodes are also there. And nematodes are the organisms which have very important role in decomposition of organic matter. I tell you, in soil you have different food webs, primary producers and then consumer at different trophic levels are there. One is eating the other. So in this case, nematode is there on all the trophic levels. Nematode can eat nematode, nematode can eat bacteria, nematode can eat fungi, likewise. So you have variety of nematodes, and the disease causing or harmful nematodes are reduced if you start organic farming. There are a number of papers which suggest that the beneficial nematodes are more in organic than in conventional farming. And also harmful nematodes are less in organic farming than the conventional farming under identical conditions of soil and climate. So such comparisons are always made under identical conditions. So therefore, you will get less population of harmful nematodes in organic soils. And another important fact is that the disease causing organism, like many fungi, bacteria, which can cause disease, nematode can also create some disorders in the plant. So their population of all the harmful organism is less under organic system compared to conventional system. I will give the reason. So one important reason is that in this organic farming, you add organic matter, And organic matter releases carbon dioxide upon its decomposition. And this released carbon dioxide kills mostly the harmful organism. This is quite interesting result from several studies that carbon dioxide kills harmful organisms selectively. So this is also advantage in favor of organic farming. Impacts on groundwater and ecosystem. As you know, in conventional farming, you have nitrate leaching. So here the nitrate leaching will be low and emission of greenhouse gases will also be low. Reduced nitrate leaching and reduced losses of nitrogen as greenhouse gas. So overall, greenhouse gas quality is improved. Enhanced water use efficiency and tolerance to drought improves. Carbon sequestration and climate change. So your carbon is sequestered in these soils, organic soils, because organic matter level increases slowly. So they act as a reserve of organic carbon. And also extensive analysis suggests that organic farming is generally associated with higher level of biodiversity. So it also increases biodiversity because in organic farming, you adopt crop rotations and intercropping systems. So crop diversification is the prominent component in organic farming, which also result in improved biodiversity. And one study suggested that the bat, bat you understand, flying bat, chamgadar in Hindi. This is an animal bird, you can say bird or animal. It is an animal, bat, chamgadar. So chamgadar or bat takes more round. It visits more round on organic farm compared to conventional farm. So that means you get more diversity on organic farm. Why it is so? Any idea? Any idea why bat population? You go to any organic farm, you are anybody staying in IRE, any one of you? Anybody staying in IRE out of all 37 students?
No, sir.
Nobody is staying.
No, sir.
So whenever you come, we have got one integrated farming system project in IRI, and you go in the evening time to that farm, you will find a lot of bats. They are just flying around. They take many rounds. They go from one end to other end, come back, and they do like this. If you have observed these bats, so their population is normally higher. Their visits are higher to organic farm compared to conventional farm. What reason do you think behind it? So why these birds come?
The lowest pesticide use or agrochemicals used,
Yeah, good.
climate is better, and they are not disturbed by human beings. That's why they are, they are favored by the place.
No, that is good. That is good. Why a particular? It is animal, of course. It acts as a bird. It fly like a bird. So why a bird or animal will come visit several places? Because these birds have nothing to do with. They are not going to the pub or disco. They are not going to market. They are not. They are always in the need of food. Actually, these birds mostly move from one place to another place in the want of food. I think their migration is for food. So that means the food they are getting more food in organic farm compared to conventional farm. Means there is more diversity, more biodiversity in organic farm. So it will get variety of insect, variety of things to eat. I don't know what is the food of bat, but it must be eating something there. So therefore, to get the food, to fetch the food, these birds are coming. So it indirectly suggests that there is more biodiversity on organic farm than, or higher levels of biodiversity than conventional farm. That is what I wanted to tell you. Now, core plus. So just we have seen the impact of organic farming or different aspects of organic farming. productivity, quality, economics, environment, soil, water. All these things were covered, how they are influenced. Now we go to core pillars or components of organic farming. You must remember these 4 components of organic farming. Their names you must remember. This is the syllabus of organic farming. This is the subject of organic farming. If you know the 4 aspects, that means you know everything about organic farming. So this is the course of organic farming. Number 1, organic standards. I discussed in brief before also what are organic standards. Then certification process. And third one is technology package. And fourth one is marketing network. You need to learn only 4 things in organic farming. Whether you are a student, whether you are a farmer, whether you are a teacher, whatsoever you are, if you have interest in organic farming, you must know all these 4. And beyond this, you need not to know anything. So suppose organic standards, these are the guidelines, do's and don'ts. These are the written documents. What can be done under organic system, organic farming, what cannot be done. So these are guiding principles which are in written form. Next, certification. You need some certificate that these organic standards have been adopted while you were doing organic farming. So somebody need to verify it. Somebody need to regulate it or certify it that the organic farming or has been done, the product has been produced under the set organic standards. That is your regulatory mechanism. Number 3, technology package. How to do it actually. So here comes the role of agronomist, soil scientist or farmer or practitioner, those who are involved in organic farming. So what technology package should be there? Should I change the time of sowing? How I will add nutrients? What will be sources of nutrient? What kind of crop rotations I should follow? What would be my crops? What would be my varieties? How I can control the weeds? How I can harvest? All these aspects of crop production or any kind of organic production are covered in technology package. I think you understand technology package. This is for crop production. It is agronomy of crop production, starting from sowing to harvesting up to packing. So this is your technology package. Here the state agricultural universities and ICR institute or colleges, they are involved in the development of production technology. Organic standards and certification is under the control of APIDA and NCOF, National Center of Organic and Natural Farming. Technology package is in the control of universities ICR in India. And then 4th and last one is market network. It is mostly under the control of private hand in the market forces and up to some extent farmers themselves and also the middlemen and some marketing agencies and some government agencies. So market network is also important to understand. These are the 4 core pillars or components of organic farming. In very brief, I will give you information about them. First, you see the organic standard and certification is the responsibility of the National Program on Organic Production, NPOP, which is part of APIDA. It started in year 2001. And our organic standards are internationally recognized. Means it is just reciprocal. You accept our standard, we will accept your standard, so that import export can exist between 2 countries quite easily, quite conveniently. So this is give and take. Then equivalence with European Union and Switzerland. It has been officially recognized by 2 countries, India and European Union, and India and Switzerland. Okay, our here equivalence means your standards are acceptable to us and our standards are acceptable to us. A memorandum of understanding have been signed. We will not mind your standard, we will not find any weakness in your standard, and you will not find weakness in our standard. So this is just to promote export import. Then also USDA recognized conformity assessment system. Conformity assessment system. And then equivalence with our standard are equivalence with Canada, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. It is expected soon. India is in the process of getting equivalence. And there are about 28 accredited certification bodies. Accredited means government have allowed them, government have given them permission. Here accreditation means just permission for certification. And 10 in public sector and 18 in private sector. So some government sector are also doing the job of certification, like your coffee board, tea board. There are some government agencies which are doing certification, but they are mostly private sector agencies. So these are the some brief about certification. And then this NPOP, National Program on Organic Production from APIDA, offers certification in crop production, wild harvest collection, livestock and sericulture, apiculture, aquaculture, food processing, animal feed processing. So you can get value-added products also or processed product, and they are also certified because they are prepared from raw product obtained by organic farming. So this national program on organic production is operated by APIDA, providing standard and certification facility. Now you see the organic standard and certification process. It starts from farm to fork. So at all the stages, you need to follow organic standard, and those organic standards should be certified. Then the consumer trust can be won, and then the concerned agency will give you certificate. So for example, you start from the top, these circles. Production, when you are producing any crop, any organic material, you need to follow standards and certification process. After production, somebody would like to go for processing, making jam jelly from your tomato or apple. Then also there are some standards, some certification during the processing, that you can add this chemical, you can kill the microbes by this method. This method of killing microbes is not allowed, this method is allowed, and so on. So standards are there, and somebody need to certify that. After processing, you will do some packaging. What kind of packaging material can be there? How long you can package? What will be the shelf life? All these things are written there. There are standards, and those standards are certified here. Certification. So standard and certification are hand in hand. The certification agency certified the standards. And then one can go for marketing in input and products. So in marketing, you got standards for output as well as for input. So your input is your, suppose manure. You may do marketing of organic manure, compost. It has got some standards. Now some compost, some manures, they have become part of FAI, the fertilizer control order. So overall, what I mean to say that from farm to fork, you should know the standards, organic standard and certification process. Any point of discussion at this point of time? If you have any question, if you miss, if you do not understand anything properly, you can ask me. Now, organic standard, in brief, I tell you, these are the do's and don'ts in organic farming. What can be done, what cannot be done, what can be added, what cannot be added. Certain guidelines are officially laid down in document that guides the production, processing and other aspect of organic products. What are the rules for conversion from conventional farming to organic farming? What are the rules? What are the guidelines? They are also mentioned in writing, in written form, that it is for 3 years. What methods and materials should be used in crop production? What methods are allowed? What materials are allowed? They are in written form. All these things are mentioned in organic standards. Indian organic standards have been developed by APIDA and are available on its website. So I have given you website. You can go to organic products and you can see the certificate list of certification agencies and other details about organic product. If you are interested in data, so year-wise data is also given for organic products. state-wise, area-wise, commodity-wise. So you can get all kind of data from that website. So we move to another link